Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Greg Wells, Lucas White, it's a Friday. We're going to have a good time on a Friday. Just a week out from the 4th of July. Are you a big 4th of July guy, Craig?
Spectator.
Okay.
Not a participant as much as...
You'll go to the park or wherever else in
We'll
Lubbock
drive someplace
okay.
and watch some fireworks.
Maybe out to a local lake.
Yep.
Okay.
We can see some from our backyard, but it not real good, so we'll drive someplace and park it and watch them for a while. I'm not a participant, though. I don't...
Participating in the hot dogs, though?
Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely.
Lucas, you a big 4th of July guy?
When I was younger, I was definitely bought the big pack at the fireworks stand. Now I'll just go see the parents and enjoy a burger and a hot dog and watch baseball on TV. Can't go wrong with that.
What's the hot dog eating contest?
That too. And some of it.
I could watch about the first 2 minutes of that, then it's just I don't.
I'm watching all of Joey
this.
Chestnut. And
He's back in the fold this year, right?
Yes.
He's back in. I'm not. What's your favorite firework that you did as a kid or recently or whatever?
I'm a big Roman candle guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you shoot each other?
I mean, yeah. Well, in Virginia,
Don't do that,
it's
kids.
pretty much illegal to do anything. So living down here in Texas, it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. Lots of horror stories, so if you're going to participate, be safe.
Yep. We'll probably talk more 4th of July next week. But we can talk basketball. There are actual live basketball games being played tomorrow with the Red Raiders involved. Craig, will you be up on YouTube at 7:30 a.m. to watch Team Germany play Slovenia?
Probably not, but I will partake in some highlights later that day.
And then I guess later on, Team USA will also play. And that's Coach McCasland.
The under-19s, is that correct?
Under-19 World Cup, FIBA Under-19 World Cup. Christian Andersen will play for Team Germany. And Coach McCasland will coach Team USA, which involves AJ DeBansa from BYU.
I wonder if there's, and boy, even more so now with the transfer portal, but I would just wonder if Coach McCasland involvement with Basketball USA, whether that has led to some recruiting advantage somewhere down the line. You know, if he saw somebody or one of his players told him of somebody, or in today's world, they transfer portal, jump in and McCasland becomes a player in that because of his involvement with Basketball USA.
Yeah, not only on Team USA, he could theoretically talk to anybody over there.
Yeah, that's right,
He's got a young Slovenian or a young Australian.
Yeah.
That's playing on the under-19 team. Hey, if you want to come play college basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that goes on. I'm sure there's some kind of recruiting going on over there. The two favorites in this thing are probably Team USA and Team Germany. It is group play through the first 3 days, which is 3 games. Groups of 4. There's 4 groups of 4. Then they'll seed them based on group play, and they'll play a 16-team tournament. It'll be done by next weekend, and it would be really awesome to have Germany and Team USA as the final 2.
And you wonder how Christian Andersen is playing for Team Germany. Somehow you have to have blood relatives that are German. And I'm not sure if his mother or dad are, or if his grandparents were or something, but it has to connect somehow.
Yeah. And this is not the first time he played for Team Germany.
No, that's right.
Played for Team Germany last summer.
That's where I first saw him.
And, yeah.
And I'm telling
Blew
you,
up.
boy, he did. He
Was
sure
MVP.
did. Shot the ball real well.
Won the tournament for Team Germany. That was not a World Cup. Those are every 2 years. It was some other, and it was the U18.
Yeah,
whatever it was on that one. But German Olympian Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, said that he is the up and coming best. He's the future of Team Germany.
Yeah.
At the Olympics.
His dad was born in Germany.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you had to have some German connection there, full blood relative or something. But so that's interesting in the fact that I'm anxious to see the highlights of Germany, not at 7:30 in the morning live. But if Christian Andersen plays a lot of point guard, because he may be, as of right now, it looks like he may be the starting point guard. And to have the luxury of a point guard that can score, it's going to be interesting to see, because he played it a little bit last year, but I'm anxious to see if that's where they play him, and if he adjusts to being a ball handling, passing part of his game kind of upped a little bit. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to watch.
It would be really cool. And I think you can do it if Christian Andersen could just be like the Keenan Evans type point guard.
Yeah.
Like, there is some drive and dish, there is some facilitating, but it's really just you and the big man. Just you and Toppin, and that's pretty much the offense in the last 5 minutes of every game.
And I'm telling you right now, just on my visual thinking of what the team's going to look like, not knowing much about the new people, end of game, you wanted Keenan Evans to have the ball. End of the game, I think you're going to want Christian Andersen to have the ball.
Yeah, do some pick and roll or something with Toppin, because you want him involved too.
If you fall back on Toppin thinking we're going to push it inside, he'll drain it.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting. I like him as a player. I like his versatility.
All right. Well, go Team USA first and foremost.
That's right. Absolutely.
And then go Team Germany. But if they're playing on the 4th, it's all Team USA, baby.
Yeah. No German clapping on the 4th.
Right on the 4th, yeah. All right. We will move forward today with some NBA draft grades. We'll look at the Texas teams and see what various publications have graded out. We're going to guess how many sellouts there will be for Texas Tech. First one yesterday.
Yeah.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. It's the End of the Bench. Hey, you can check in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line or on the Visual Edge IT hotline. 806-771-0973. We are in the First United Bank studio. Yes, it's Micah PV.
Yep.
Micah PV. Let's see. This texture old Razzle Dazzle says he likes to get a sixer, plus or minus another sixer, and climb up on his roof and watch fireworks in South Lubbock. Careful. This texter says, sans the Sixers, I often do the same thing. He says, with the ongoing housing development and purchases in my area, the fireworks show promises to be a lot better than the usual awesomeness. There you go. That'll be fun. Let's see. The Loud Lodge mortar boom started a couple days ago. Yeah, I was hearing.
Were you really?
Every couple days and the weeks leading up to the 4th of July, you get some kind of.
I would imagine,
whether it's some Black Cats or.
I would imagine this weekend you're
Bottle
going to hear
Rocket
a
or
few.
something. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Rob can fabricate some nice childhood fireworks memories for us today. No, I didn't fabricate the entire memory, just which movie it was. Everything else stands true.
And Rob does have 10 fingers, by the way.
That's true.
So we don't have any bad memories.
No, I also don't. I didn't grow up doing fireworks very much. Like a lot of the time, we just did like the little turtle that would spin or
snakes
whatever.
And
the snakes and the turtles and the
yep. You
those
know what
kinda
snakes
ones.
are, Lucas?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a little pellet, and you light it, and it just.
Yeah, we do a cherry bomb or not a cherry bomb. It's like with the smoke bombs.
Yeah.
Was the smoke?
Like the little ones you throw on the ground and they pop.
Oh yeah, the poppets.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did a ton of those.
Yeah. Yeah, ours.
Maybe some bottle rockets, but
our actual non-watching participating fireworks were very limited.
Yeah. So, and that was as a child. So.
Which was only a couple years ago.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. Bullfighter says you missed all the bug bombs last night, Rob. How were the bug bombs, Lucas?
They're splendid.
What is a bug bomb?
Not really sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, let's see. So I'm looking through the baseball roster. The baseball draft coming up. And that is on July 13th, a Sunday, July 13th. And then the following Monday. And I think the Major League Baseball draft goes at least 3 rounds on the first day. And then the rest of the rounds the following day.
Right. And they're pretty darn quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those baseball guys are just tossing in names by the end of it.
Yeah.
Of course, you used to have 40 rounds. Then they cut it down to 5 in 2020. And I think it's back up to 10 or 20.
And you have to have completed 3 years of college, not necessarily playing, but you completed 3 years of college.
Yes,
or 21 years of age.
21 years of age.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you an AI list of eligible Texas Tech.
Okay.
And I qualify by saying AI, so it could very easily be wrong. Kevin Bazell, catcher.
Yeah, well, he went last year.
Yeah. Cade McGee was eligible last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yep. From this year's team, Robin Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve. Tracer Lopez.
Yes.
TJ Pompey.
Sure.
Logan Hughes. Damian Bravo.
Yes.
Jack Siebert. Trendon Parrish. And then some from last year, but that's the key ones from this year.
Looks about right.
Yep.
I mean, there are other players on here that are draft eligible.
Yeah.
I don't know that they'll get drafted like Jacob Rogers. But Siebert's a senior, so it's not like you're trying to
and
see if he comes back.
And he has no COVID year left,
Right.
or
I think Villeneuve has the JUCO buffer.
Yeah.
If he wants to return.
And as far as I know, I think all COVID years have been used up, effective this year. Is that right?
I don't know. I
think I read
they come up with new waivers and whatever else every year, so I'm not even going to pretend like I could say yes or no on that. I would say Zane Petty is the one to watch here as far as draftable. Damian Bravo certainly one to watch as far as draftable. And those are guys that, if they're drafted, could still return or could just go and be drafted.
Yeah. I would think Logan Hughes for Texas Tech has got a chance to be maybe the largest winner in the NIL contest for Texas Tech. As a result, I think he'd have to go pretty high for him to leave. I don't know who. Well, I shouldn't say that because there's probably some people on some players that are being looked at that might get more money, NIL money, than him. But I can see him getting pretty top NIL money for Texas Tech baseball. Not compared to $4 million that some college basketball players are getting.
Yeah, we don't know what the baseball roster's doing.
Yeah.
There's 20 rounds in the Major League Baseball draft. I think it's around round 10-ish that everything just starts being kind of you get $150,000 signing bonus or whatever to go.
Yeah. We'll sign you as a free agent, but we're going to draft you.
So anywhere past round 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, I think that's the time you're saying, yeah, he could come back if he wanted to.
Yeah.
If he gets drafted in the top 10 rounds, he's probably going.
Yep. I would think, yeah.
So if you're watching some of these guys to see if they come back, they're probably safe until round like 12. And then you're like, maybe we can convince them to come back.
Yeah. Minor league baseball just doesn't pay really, really good. So it's not like you're getting a $150,000 bonus and you're going to make $2 million a year. Not. That $150,000 bonus could be gone pretty quick in your minor league baseball.
But the reputation that the football team and the baseball or the basketball team and the softball team have doesn't extend to the baseball team. And maybe they're going to start spending money this offseason, but that's not the reputation that it has.
Yeah.
So,
and again, we don't know exactly.
Right.
They may be the best in the Big 12, but nobody knows. I mean, they do know, but we don't.
Well, I know they're not the best in the Big 12.
No.
But I don't believe that it tracks with wins and losses. Because Murray State and Coastal Carolina were at Omaha. And I guarantee you they weren't landing
they didn't have the payroll Tech did.
Yeah. Exactly.
College baseball is in for some interesting times because the player movement is going to be a lot different than what's happening in football and basketball. You're not going to see, I think, so many all-stars move from one team to another because there's just not that much difference in, the top 10 players, but there's not that much difference in NIL money. As far as SEC is far and above everybody else, but
I think some star players will go to the SEC from other conferences.
No doubt. But other than that, you're not going to see the player movement that you see in basketball or football, I don't think.
All right, we'll continue after this. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It's the End of the Bench. Not to be outdone by old Razzle Dazzle's Sixers, this texter gets 2 30-packs. I don't know how quickly you're drinking those, but I would assume you're not finishing the fireworks show if you've got 2 30-packs available.
And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, don't be getting on the top of the house either.
No, he's from the porch.
Okay.
He's on the porch. Maybe if you get 2 30-packs, you can watch twice the amount of, or potentially 3 times the amount of fireworks. Because you're seeing double. All right.
Let somebody else light them.
Hey, well, yeah. He's just watching. Let's see. One more headline that I forgot earlier. Chance McMillan signed to the Warriors. And I would assume that is not a 10-day. It's more of a summer league invite kind of thing. So, shout out to Chance McMillan. I did not catch any other Red Raiders, just the Peavy and McMillan.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's check the calendar.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
We're nearly done with June here. We'll start with July next week and go from there. That's pretty impressive. All right, it's June 27th, Friday. And it is pretty weak. Let's see. A lot of ones that I cannot pronounce and do not know what they are. It's a Helen Keller Day.
She was born on this day.
Okay.
That's why.
It is Drive Your Corvette to Work Day. Let me go grab my Corvette.
I just started to say, I didn't see many in the parking lot.
Oh, if any at all. It is Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day.
Okay. Micro, small enterprises.
It's National Bingo Day. Oh, here we go. National Food Truck Day, National Onion Day, Orange Blossom Day, Sunglasses Day. We just had to get through the bad first half of it. And that's about it.
I'm digging that food truck day.
Yeah, I like a good food truck.
Oh, yeah.
Where my wife works, they always have food trucks on Friday.
Really?
So she happens to forget her lunch on Fridays. so
happens.
she can go to
Yeah.
get some food from the food trucks.
Just so happens.
It's real interesting. You go to some town that you're not real familiar with, and you ask somebody, say, okay, I'm going to only eat once. Where would I? And more times than not, they'll tell you some food truck that's go right down here at lunch and 2 blocks away or something. Good food and food trucks.
Lucas, any birthdays?
Will Levis, Mayo-eating guy, 26 years old today. Guy. Bobby Wagner, 35, still doing
Commanders legend.
Doing well, yes. He'll be back again for this season. Jim Edmonds, former St. Louis Cardinal outfielder, 55. Jeff Conine, he's 59. I remember him being on the O's when I was a youngin', so I enjoyed watching Jeff Conine on the Orioles.
Didn't his son play for A&M, I think, or something like that? I mean, they saw him at the College World Series a lot. I can't remember which team it was.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Drake Bell, 39 years old. Drake and Josh and a bunch of other things. He had a little rough patch in his life, but seems to get over that. Him and Josh Peck had a beef, like you and Bullfighter. But they squashed that, I believe. Tubby McGuire turning 50 years old. And then Khloe Kardashian, 41. And then Chandler Riggs, who was Carl in Walking Dead, turns 26. And then Helen Keller was born on this day.
Tobey Maguire, the best Spider-Man?
Yeah, I would say.
I think he's the one most known for it.
Yeah.
I would think. Okay.
Griffin Conine.
Griffin Codine.
Duke.
Duke. Okay.
Duke Blue Devil.
Yeah.
He was here with the Super Regional.
Yep. 1975, professional golfer Lee Trevino was hit by lightning.
Oh, wow.
And it
I didn't see that coming.
It kind of hit hard because it definitely affected his play from that point on. And he'll tell you that changed the direction of his career. I'm going to save one for last. 1986, Robbie Thompson, not a household name, was caught stealing 4 times in one game. Not too fast a guy, old Robbie. 1999, Tony Hawk, the first one to do a 900. You know what a 900 is? 2.5 aerial spin. Lucas, you a skateboarder at one time?
I dabbled in it. I was definitely not any good, but I rode a skateboard around the neighborhood.
Yeah. I got on one, went about 20 feet, and then that was my end of my skateboarding career.
I have an electric one right now.
Really?
That goes about 30 miles an hour. That I haven't ridden it yet, but I need to. Now that it's nice outside, I'll ride it.
Like a longboard with the remote?
Yeah, it's basically it's a skate. It's shorter than a longboard, but yeah, I have a controller that you can control speed and whatnot. Yeah, it's cool.
Like Casey Neistat?
Yes.
And
exactly.
one of the most, and arguably the most influential decision ever made that changed college football forever. 1984, the Supreme Court stopped the monopoly on college football telecast. OU and Georgia had taken their court, and from that point on, TV has been the ruler of college football in a lot of different ways. But that court decision by the Supreme Court to break up that monopoly really, really influenced financially the college football scene. Big-time decision.
The beginning of the end for Blue Bloods. And maybe just college athletics. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
And former Red Raider A.J. Ramos gets save number 10 of the year after a perfect ninth-inning strikeout of 2 people in a 3-2 Marlins win over the Dodgers on June 27th, 2015. A.J. Ramos, a Estacado Matador standout.
It's a Matador Marlin.
Yep.
Met Marlin. Speaking of the Mets, they play the Pirates tonight, but it is the Rangers starting a series with the Mariners and the Astros starting a series with the Cubs. Both those on our airwaves tonight. The Rangers on Double T 97.3 starting at 6:30 pregame. The Astros-Cubs pregame starting at 6:40 right here on 100.7 The Score. The Rangers will throw Nathan Eovaldi for the first time as he returns from an injury. Logan Gilbert on the bump for the Mariners. Then we'll have Walter and Horton. Is that Cade Horton from Oklahoma? It is. Shout out Cade Horton. He's former Sooner. 3-1 this year with a 3.73 ERA.
Pretty good start.
I didn't know he was up for the Cubs.
Pretty good team, too.
Then there for the Astros, it's Brandon Walter, not from Oklahoma. He's got a 3.8 ERA, 25 strikeouts. He's been pretty good as well.
Astros are playing pretty good right now, but this is probably the best team they've played in the last 2 or 3 series.
Probably so, yeah.
Yep.
I think the Rangers could say the same because they've been playing some bums as well. But more after this on 47s. That wasn't personal, Lucas. It wasn't personal, I promise.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. It's the End of the Bench. About halfway through today on a Friday. Before we get to the weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I auto-correct something?
Yeah.
Landon Hughes. Logan Hughes is not eligible for the draft.
Yeah, I think we said that at the time. It was because we were going through the AI list, and that's fine. It's a useful tool. But
and he is only 20 years old and played 2 years at Tech, so he is not eligible for the draft. Not that he wouldn't be drafted, but he's not eligible.
Yeah, he transferred in this year and played the
Right.
1 year at Tech. He'll be allegedly back next year. We'll see.
Yep.
See what happens before Tuesday. Oh, what is this? You're still gonna have to do double. You're gonna have to do burning questions again.
That's fine, totally fine. But I do have a pop quiz for both of y'all.
Okay.
Y'all can tag team this.
I'll put both my headphones in.
There were 6 schools that had a first round draft pick in the NFL draft and in the NBA draft.
Okay.
Name those 6 schools.
In the NFL and
The NBA,
the NBA.
6 schools had a kid go in the first round.
Okay, go
I'm asking for the 6 schools.
Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, Texas.
That's correct.
In the first round, we got Arizona.
That is also
Zach
correct.
McMillan and the other kid.
Golly.
Florida? What do you think, Craig? You think Florida had a football player go in the first round?
They didn't have a basketball player in the first
Yeah,
round.
Walter Clayton.
I thought he went in the second round.
No, he went in the
He
first
went
round.
First
first.
round? First
Yeah.
round? Okay.
You think they had a football player go first round?
No. Is that right? Florida?
Florida is not a
Yeah,
school.
I didn't.
Well, we
yeah.
didn't. We didn't. We
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Say, we didn't say it.
Yeah,
Craig,
yeah,
Craig
yeah,
saved us
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I mean, let's just football wise. Georgia. Did Georgia have a basketball player go in the first round of the NBA draft?
Did Duke have one?
Did Duke have a football player?
I wouldn't think so. I don't know. Yeah. Well, no. No. Yeah, I'll say Duke. I think.
Wrong.
That,
No.
oh.
Dan
All
did
right, let's
not
go
have-
Georgia.
Georgia is correct.
Okay, so that's 1 strike, 3 right. We need 3 left.
Baylor.
No, I don't think they had a football player go first round.
Huh.
Michigan.
Michigan is correct.
Rutgers didn't.
I might be spent here. Trying to think of who else, just football wise. Alabama, do they have a basketball player? I don't think so.
Yeah, just go through the Southeastern Conference.
Right. Or the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Ohio State, no.
No.
Penn State.
Northwestern, no.
Penn State?
They had the last pick in the first round was Penn State. So I'm going to say Penn State.
Penn State is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, last pick in the first
So
round.
there's 5 of 6.
Yeah. Okay. Mississippi State. LSU, no.
UConn, no.
No.
Probably not in football.
Probably not football.
So who have we said so far? Give me the 5 we've said.
Penn State, Michigan, Arizona, Texas, and Georgia.
Golly.
Boise State. They have a basketball player.
West Virginia?
I don't think they had
He-
they didn't have a
basketball?
football player.
A football player they did?
I don't think so.
Javon Small, he went in the second round?
Yeah, he went in the second round. Saw
yeah.
him earlier.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas.
Wait a minute. Let me give one last look at the map here. Let me think in my head.
I'll give you a hint where these guys got drafted by.
Okay, so it's the final team.
So for football, he got drafted by the Chargers.
Okay.
And for basketball, he got drafted by the Atlanta Hawks.
Huh.
Michigan State.
Jace Robinson?
Nope.
The Chargers. Who did the Chargers take? I thought they took the North Carolina.
Hampton.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Yep.
They took the running back.
Yeah.
So North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Arizona, Michigan, and Penn State.
First round picks, both of them.
Yeah, North Carolina should have been easier. But... All right, well, there you go. Pop quiz. Texas Tech next year, yes or no? David Bailey, JT Toppin?
Not out of the realm of possibility.
I think it's a good possibility. The one that scares me is JT Toppin in the first round. I'm looking at the people that were drafted.
Yeah.
He's a tweener to me.
Right.
I don't know if he can play around the basket like he does in college and the pros, but he's so darn good. And he's defensively,
surely they'll take a flyer.
I could see, the kid from Penn State was the last pick in the first round.
Yeah.
I think J.C. Toppin's every bit as good and better than he is. So, I think that's a possibility. I think it's a definite possibility. How cool would that be?
Be awesome to be on a list like that.
Yep. I did notice, Lucas, I was telling Rob that 20 of the players drafted in the NBA draft were transfers at least one time.
So that's through both rounds?
Yeah, yep. 20 players.
So 20 out of 60.
Yeah.
You take out the internationals.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably more than half of the collegiate players transferred at least once.
At least once.
This texter, Bobby Hot Dog, says, did you say her name is Inky? Did her parents name her after the Pac-Man ghost of the same name?
Yes, her name was Inky. Inky Son, S-O-N. Maybe son.
Bobby Hot Dogs also says, Rob, please demonstrate how well you can use the Venmo app by sending me $100. No. Razzle Dazzle got a Venmo card just to use it for golden tea. Yeah, you flip $5 over there. I've got the Cash App card that was just because it was a cool design. And if you're making a purchase online, you put a little money in there, and if that gets hacked, it's no big deal.
So that's how Cash App works? You give them money and then you use the card?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Or you can send it directly.
You get
Cash App
interest
to Cash
on your
App.
money when you give it to them?
No. There's a save. Well, you can put in the savings in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Cash App and the Venmo, a lot of these places you can also it works as a digital wallet, so you can also buy Bitcoin and Fartcoin or whatever else is on there. I don't know.
I tell you what's interesting too.
I've not dug into that too much, and I think Cash App you can do stocks.
You can do stocks. I was gonna say, yeah.
With Cash App,
Uh-huh.
as a parent, Venmo's not bad because you can track where that money's going.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. B says, I'm still not convinced that Khloe Kardashian is OJ's daughter. Kim and Courtney are close to 5'4". Khloe's 5'11".
Only the Kardashians will know.
I mean, that is a popular theory.
Yep.
Also, Bullfighter says, happy birthday to Jonah. Jonah Heim. It's Heim time. He's Heim. All right, that's enough of that.
Bet is over on total basis.
Birthday game if he plays. Higashioka might be out there tonight. All right, more after this. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench. We had the pop quiz last segment. So Lucas is going to do burning questions this segment.
And we did get a passing grade. Is that correct, Lucas?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd say we at least got a 5.5 with the hint at the end there.
Yeah.
2 strikes. We passed.
Kept fouling the pitches off, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all did great.
All right.
2 minutes of non-stop in-your-face inquiries with no end in sight. It's time for Burning Questions.
I want you to give me a NBA player, NFL player, MLB player that you wish could have a long career with absolutely no injuries. So you can either do a player that had a injury that obviously significantly.
So we can go back in time and
You can go back in
make
time.
a guy healthy?
Yeah, and make them healthy to have a career with absolutely no injuries. So, baseball, basketball, football player. Who would you give a non-injured career to?
Can they be existing players and the rest of their career be non-injury?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baseball, right off the top of my mind, is Josh Young.
Yeah, already.
I just hope he can stay healthy.
Well, even just go back and be healthy the first 3 seasons, yeah.
Football, no doubt in my mind, Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a generational quarterback. I think he's got a chance if he stays healthy, and they continue to have a decent offensive line. I think he's got a chance to be one of the all-time greats, and he's already pushing a lot of that. Basketball, I'm going to surprise probably a little bit of you here. I really hope Cooper Flagg is injury-free because I think he's got a chance to do what LeBron James has done up to this point. I think he's got a chance to make the NBA a recognizable, want-to-watch sport. And he's off the court. He's got what it takes, I think. And if he stays the same as a humble person as he is and as good a person as he is, and if he continues to grow his game, which is starting at a pretty high level, I'm a Cooper Flagg fan.
All right, I'll go Steven Strasburg in baseball.
Ooh, San Diego State flamethrower.
That guy just got hurt every year, it seemed like. I feel like him and like Noah Syndergaard and all those guys just in that era, you felt like you had 100 pitchers that were just incredible right then, and then half of them got hurt. And it's like Verlander and Scherzer, the only 2 that made it out of the era. Football, I'd go Travis Frederick. Got Guillain-Barré syndrome and retired. Feel like he had 5 years left in him at least.
Good pick.
If you could have had Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin stick together the last 4 or 5 years, who knows what would happen with the Cowboys. Maybe the same. Probably the same. But you'll just never know. And then basketball, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
If you can keep him and Shaq together healthy, or even after Shaq leaves, if you can get him healthy, who knows how good he could have been. But his knees just gave out. Him or Tracy McGrady.
Yeah. Good selections. Penny Hardaway, I tell you, he was destined for great things. Destined for great things.
For football, I would pick RG3.
Oh,
as a Washington Redskin fan.
Yeah, sure.
That could
like
have been
that?
something special.
You think he could have done what Jaden Daniels is doing right now?
It would have been close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I agree. That speed of his makes a lot of difference.
And then the Redskins did push him to be back too soon. So there's that. Baseball, and to go kind of generic Mike Trout. I mean, I know we've discussed him earlier, so just kind of what could have been for him. And then for basketball, might be a weird one, but Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Yao Ming.
Yeah.
A lot of big guys out there. Greg Oden.
Yeah.
But Yao Ming, he came over older, right? He played, 3 full seasons or something?
Yeah.
I remember Yao Ming being here for 15 years playing basketball, just the amount of impact he had. But he had 3 seasons, it feels like. I've looked that up recently. Much fewer seasons than I remember due to injury and otherwise.
Greg Oden and Ralph Sampson was another one, that they didn't get much of a career because of knee injuries, knee problems.
Yeah, knees and feet, yeah.
A 22-year-old man illegally posed as a dentist using online tutorials to learn how to do surgery. He made $185,000 before getting caught conducting multiple root canals without any real dental training. That's real. My question is, what job could you fabricate and do a good job at it until people realize that you're not really qualified or did the right schooling to do that job, like a lawyer or pilot or surgeon? What do you think you could
keep me away from surgery
through?
I would guess it's like the commercial. I'm not, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn. I'd say lawyer. I've watched enough Law and Order that I could fake my way through some of it, but it wouldn't take long for me to get exposed, I think. But that lawyer would probably be one. And I don't know enough about it to be a lawyer, but I think I could fake it for maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, if you're picking the right cases, though,
you
should be fine. Yeah. A lawyer, I think, would be one of them. Teacher, professor. I could be a college professor for decades. Nobody would know. I didn't go to school for it, or didn't take a test,
or get your PhD. And
no, none of it. Okay, I want to go back to the dentist story.
Did he set up an office or something?
Is this recent? Is it just happened?
I would assume so, yeah.
Have you seen Catch Me If You Can?
Yes.
So Frank Abagnale Jr. goes down and is the lead surgeon overnight.
Yeah.
And he never does anything. He just directs the interns what to do.
Yeah.
Now, if we're doing that in the medical field, it's what do you think? What do you think? Oh, yeah, that's good. That's what I would have done. And you're not actually having to do anything. Maybe I'd last longer, but I'm not intubating and sticking needles in people. I don't mind getting stuck with needles, but I don't know that I'd want to be the one drawing blood and whatnot. You like getting blood drawn, Craig?
It doesn't bother me. I've done it so many times, but but I'm like you. It doesn't bother me, but I don't like to see other people.
Right. Yeah, as soon as somebody's like, oh, I'll be like, oh, man, my bad.
Yeah, I've got a son-in-law that even the sight of blood, it's woozy time real quick.
See, that doesn't bother me as much or at all.
Yeah.
If somebody, there's a lot of smells in a hospital.
Yeah.
That if I smell, I will replicate what has happened.
Yeah. It's like the old
Very
joke.
sensitive nose.
It's like the old joke. What do they call the guy or the lady that finishes last in their med school class? Doctor.
There you go. But I don't think that'd be for me. And I wouldn't. Yeah. So he made how much money? $185,000.
$185,000.
How much is he getting sued for being in people's mouths?
Probably a lot more than that. Yeah. Definitely a lot more than that.
That's like
unreal.
I said I'd be a lawyer. The judge would say, "You can't," and I'd say, "Yep, you're right. I can't."
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back, 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. Somebody asked if you met your wife on Tumble or if I met somebody somewhere else. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is. You have to explain it to me. Texter who made a text name for just today to send one message in. Real brave of you. Let's see. Elsewhere on the text line. I think we read a bunch of these in the last segment. Dear Breaux, how are you? I'm fine. Does Hunter Dickinson have the most punchable face in all the Big 12? Yes. Player-wise, maybe. I think Jamie Dixon is up there. He's so arrogant and shouldn't be the best player at KU. Why didn't one Bill Self break it to Hunter that he's not that great? Thank you for the G League talk that you give us. Tell Lucas that I'm a big fan. That's from Gordo. Yeah.
Good listener, Gordo.
Good
listener.
Yeah. Yep. Why not talk baseball and its facility and what Tadlock's team deserves? Well, we were talking about basketball, football from a graphic perspective because that was on the list. Yep. But yeah, baseball is behind those other two for sure.
One of the problems about talking about it is nobody knows except those parties involved of how much money they had, how much they used, who got what, and so forth. So it's hard to say Coach Tadlock doesn't believe in this or he believes in this and they paid. So you don't know. And so it would be purely conjecture unless you have talked directly to one of those people. And it's hard. College baseball on its own, not just Texas Tech, you hardly ever see them mentioned in the revenue share proportions. And as far as NIL, if you don't have a strong NIL arm, then that baseball is like number 4 on a lot of lists, number 5 on some. And it's hard to talk about when the unknown is there.
This is getting pretty granular, but if you were power ranking sports that Texas Tech is invested in right now, most invested to less invested is a top 5, what would you put as the top 5? So we're not gonna go through every single sport, but
I gotta say
football's number 1.
Men's and women's basketball.
Men's basketball's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, the women's basketball have got a pretty nice practice facility.
Certainly.
And they play in a pretty, so invested, I think they're invested in that sport. Other than that, I don't know how invested they are. I don't know.
Right. Well, just NIL space and everything. I would not put women's on equal to men's.
Right.
But maybe with the Womble, you do put them 3.
Yeah. And then softball's certainly jumped right up there. Right behind that, probably
track and field.
I'd say soccer or track and field are both equal, or one's ahead of the other just a little bit. But
you put a new grass at the soccer complex, and certainly they're getting players in.
And you got the indoor facility that's second to none, and plus you've got some national championships hanging on the wall. So investment in that sport has paid off for sure. Coach Kitley has done a tremendous job.
We were talking about jobs you can get away with without the training. Bullfighter says you could be bullfighters. All you got to do is get in front of a 2,000-pound monster and get run over.
Yeah.
I might could be a rodeo clown if you get me in a barrel or something. But
all it'd take is one time for me, and then my bullfighting would be over.
Yeah. If you were doing a shoe deal, you personally, what shoe deal would you want to be? Yeah, that was the joke, Bullfighter. Thank you.
Oh gosh. Right now, probably Nike.
Yeah.
Because they have such a variety of different types of shoes. I think Adidas is knocking on their door. I think Adidas is picking up their casual wear shoe.
Are you saying that if you were a college athlete?
If I was a college
athlete. I'm saying
athlete,
you today.
Yeah.
No, you today.
As a college athlete?
No, just like
me?
you, Craig. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Nike.
Okay.
Yeah, Nike.
Yeah.
And again, because of the casual shoes, the social shoes they have.
Yeah.
But Adidas would be right behind me on my list, I think. I like what they've done just in the last 2 or 3 years with their non-athletic shoes.
Yeah.
I think they're really picking up steam, and I kind of, I'd say those two.
I might go with Otani and New Balance. And Cooper Flag.
Yeah, I don't know enough about them, but apparently they're coming.
I wore them in high school.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I wore. Well, I had some DCs, if you remember that brand.
Yeah.
The skate brand.
Yeah.
But then I was wearing New Balance a lot. Generally have Skechers now, but I'd go back to New Balance if they were paying me.
You know, Hoka is a shoe has really gained some
Heard a
steam.
lot about Hoka.
Yeah. They've really gained some but they're pretty much a walking, running, casual shoe, and that's the limit right there.
I might be a Hey Dudes guy if they were paying me.
Yeah.
Only if they paid me, though.
Yep. Yeah, or Vans. I could be a Vans guy.
This texter says these athletes and or their people have to stop making promises they can't keep. Pompey's dad said, as long as Tadlock is here, so will TJ be. It has to stop. Just gives people false hope. The Pompey news just kicks us baseball fans while we're already down. Hey, man, I agree with that. And as I said earlier, I was pretty surprised that Pompey entered his name in.
Yeah. I agree, especially this late. I agree with you. Said that earlier, and I do agree. The timing on it is interesting. But like I said earlier, I'm going to be very curious to see who he ends up with, because I think, as some of the coaches have come out and said, there's some tampering going on.
If it's well, see.
But I don't know his is tampering.
It would be pretty rich for us as
yes,
Red Raider stickball fans to be angry about that, because we just saw the softball program, and we were defending against tampering in that respect. So I'm not going to call out tampering on this, though.
Yeah.
They could both be tampering. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
If he goes to Arkansas, I'll be pretty mad.
Yeah,
I will. Yeah. Not at TJ as much as just the situation.
Yeah.
I have no idea where he's going to end up, though.
I just I'm sad, really, because I liked him. I thought he was a good Red Raider, and I just enjoyed watching him play. I thought he had a lot of potential, and I think he's a lot better in the field than he has performed thus far.
Pin clicking's on the mic there.
That's nervousness.
Somebody's going to text in and be like, "What's that clicking noise?"
Driving down the road going, what's wrong with my car?
My car's making a weird noise. This texter says, Rob, I'd love for you to be a rodeo clown at Rodeo Houston for Tech Day in March. Let's get this funded. Give me $20,000. I'll be there in the barrel.
That's all it would take to put you in a barrel?
Yeah.
$20,000?
Yeah. Ooh. Well, for one night, for 1 hour, that's pretty good work.
It'd take me one hit, and I'd be through.
Well, yeah, if I'm hurt, I don't have to go back in the barrel.
Yeah, but, I mean, it doesn't mean if I'm hurt or not. A bull running at you full speed, hit you in the barrel and throw you up a little bit. Nah, been there.
So you're saying I should raise my price?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what this other text means. Hokas are for smooth mouths? Is it like a smooth talker?
I don't know.
Am I a smooth mouth, Lucas? Would you describe me as a smooth mouth?
I'm not going to comment on that. I think you think what you want.
Smooth mouth, maybe an old person, maybe. I don't know. It's been fun today. It's Friday.
In the context of aging cows, it refers to the condition where the teeth are worn down and the lack of normal ridges or cusps. Yeah, maybe Hokas are for old people. I don't know. I'd be down. I think they look nice.
Yeah.
I think they're for runners, I thought.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be really, really comfortable.
All right, the bottom line up next. 100.7 The Score. It's the end of the bench.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.